Welcome to the Jamesburg Presbyterian Church. Today is Wednesday, October the 21st, 2020. We're really grateful to have a few people sitting in the pews. Really glad to know that there are people watching on video. We're going to continue doing this. Today is the 31st installment of these magical devotions. So I want to start with a word, sodium chloride. Most of you know sodium chloride as salt, common table salt. It's what we put on our foods to season our foods. Some people I know that when I eat a tart salad dressing, I need to have salt on it. Somehow the salt takes away some of the sourness. But we put salt on all kinds of things. I even know someone that says that putting a pinch of salt in coffee makes the coffee taste better. And what could be better than salted caramel? French fries. I like French fries with salt. It just seems to make French fries taste better. Not that they don't taste better already, but I really enjoy French fries with salt and a little ketchup. So all of us use salt in one way or another. I was interested in finding out from William Barclay, a book I read, that at one point in time, salaries were paid, this would have been in the time of Jesus, salaries were paid in salt. Surprised, I don't know what I guess you could barter with salt back in those days, but it was a valuable commodity. So we still continue using salt. So because it's a common element, I thought that we could talk about it a little bit in terms of something that Jesus said. Jesus once said, "You are the salt of the earth." He said this in Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. Then he goes on to say, "But if saltiness has lost its flavor, how can the flavor be restored? In fact, it's not good for anything except to be thrown away." Well, let's think about this. If the chemical makeup of salt is sodium and chloride, that's what gives salt its salty flavor in the first place. So technically speaking, salt cannot lose its flavor because its chemical makeup, sodium chloride, is what makes it salt in the first place. So people back then may not have given this a whole lot of thought, but you and I can give it some thought because we know that technically it can't lose its saltiness. So might we say that what we thought was salt really wasn't salt in the first place. And that's why it doesn't have its flavor. I think that's where we would go with this. Well, here's the thing. If you and I are salt of the earth, if we are the salt of the earth, then we are supposed to be influencing the flavor, if you will, the flavor of everything around us. It'd be like taking some salt. We're going to take some now. And I'm going to pour some in my hand. I'm going to raise my hand up like this so that you can see me pouring it in. It's probably hard to see, but I'm pouring salt into my hand. That's probably enough. And now I'm going to take and move it all in there. Okay. Salt should retain its flavor if indeed it's real salt. You and I, if we are real Christians, should always retain that flavor. We should always be real Christians. There should not be that moment where we fail to love unconditionally, where we fail to be kind, especially in our world today where people are so uncivil, especially in the political discourse. It's a common theme because we're in an election year and people are becoming more and more disturbed about the events going on in the world. Regardless of what political party we favor, our civility toward each other should be influenced by our flavor, the fact that we are Christians, and that should never change. When we're dealing with difficult family members, when we're dealing with people that are hard to deal with, we should remember that we are Jesus followers and that the flavor that we bring to the world never changes. If we are real Christians, then we should always be consistently real Christians. But if we are not real Christians, then we're not the salt of the earth. We're not going to bring flavor to the earth. So the question becomes, are we real or are we non-existent as Christians? That's the question we have to ask. So as you live your week this week, think about whether or not you are indeed the salt of the earth. Think about whether or not you are adding flavor, influencing the flavor of our world by your actions, by your love, by the things that you do consistently on a daily basis. Are you loving those tough people to love? We all have those people in our lives, but are you loving them nonetheless? That's the question. Jesus says, you are the salt of the earth. Go be salt. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon.